is Paisley Gimbel, and she is a junior, sophomore. She's just so smart.
Tonight's last inductee to the Culver-Stockton College Education Hall of Excellence received his Bachelor's of Science in Elementary Education. He later completed his specialist degree in School Administration from Northeast Missouri State University after completing his Master's in Education Administration from what is now known as Truman State University. His teaching career took off with teaching 5th grade in 1977 to principal of elementary schools in Lewis County School Districts, to principal of McIntyre Elementary School in Fulton, Missouri for 23 years. In 1999, he was named National Distinguished Principal from Missouri. In 2009, he retired after serving and surviving 32 years as an educator. I now present to you Mr. Robert Hogan.
You all must have been really good students because you're so excited about getting to
No, I am.
The Education and Applied Arts Division of Culver-Stockton College presents Robert Hogan, the 2012 Excellence in Education Award for demonstrating leadership and vision vital to the development of students who will become self-directed learners, decision makers, problem solvers, and critical thinkers who demonstrate concern for others, signed by Ann Hammer, the chair of the Education and Applied Arts Division, and Richard Valentine, the president of the college. And on behalf of the Education Department and Division, we are making a gift to your favorite charity. And you have elected to return that back to Culver-Stockton College to the music program in honor of your wife, Martha. Thank you.
Good evening. Would have never thought I would be standing here for any type of recognition like that when I started at Culver-Stockton in the fall of 1973. Surprised? That's me. Humbled? That's me. Grateful? That's me. I entered Culver-Stockton College with a lot of growing up to do, but definitely ready to start a new chapter in my life as a college student. Culver-Stockton offered me friendship, fraternity, and future. And when I left 4 years later, I felt I was very prepared for this new chapter in my life. I met my best friend, Martha Spur Hogan, at the Teak Kager at Fenway Landing, first time I laid eyes on her. We married in 1980, and still together in 2013. And you know, I'm not the easiest person to get along with. So there's been some good points and rough spots, but we've made it. Friendship was all around you at Culver-Stockton. 30 years later, I still run into people that had the same experiences that I had at campus at the same time. In 2005, oldest daughter was going to Washington, D.C., but she had to reroute her flight and go to Baltimore, Maryland. And she's 21, and I'm thinking, well, she can't handle this, you know, so what are we going to do, Martha? I said, well, we're going to call Brillo. So we called Brillo, my good friend Mike McClement, and he and his wife picked up Elizabeth, showed her the sides of Baltimore, made sure she got on the train the next day for Washington, D.C. We laugh about that later because at that time Elizabeth was my oldest and she's 21, but in the back seat was Mike's little girl, and she was only 4 years old. He had a lot more years left to go before she started school. We laugh about that now. 2 years later, a frantic call from Emily, who was on the homecoming court up here at Culver-Stockton. She needed a convertible. Could I drive one up from Fulton, Missouri? I said, I'm not driving one up from Fulton, Missouri, but tell you what, we're going to call Ken Greger. He'll come through for me. I called Kenny Greger. He did come through. The only stipulation was that your dad's got to ride with you. I'm not riding that thing myself. So Kenny took care of that for me. none of my girls would leave home and head to the city without having Jack Delabar's telephone number. They know if they get in a jam, that number's always there, and he'll come, hopefully not bail them out of jail, but come help them out any way they can. You know, this works both ways. A good friend of ours, Susie Gosney, had a daughter that was traveling between Palmyra and Springfield, Missouri, going to school in Springfield. And you know, yeah, you always tell your kids, if you break down, if you have a problem, call this number. Well, she left late one Saturday night, about 4 or 5. Next thing you know, the storm, snowstorm just kind of came up. You know, Missouri weather kind of hit right outside Fulton. She called her mom. Her mom said, "Well, call the Hogans and they'll take care of you." They did, and we were going at a game. Oldest daughter, youngest daughter, picked her up and took care of her that night. And next morning, 7 o'clock, she was going on her way to Springfield. But you feel good that you have that support group, that if you do have a problem, that there are people that you share the same experiences with at Culver-Stockton that are there for you. Greek life was popular at Culver, especially in the 70s. I'm sure it was in the 60s and 80s, but I can only speak for the 70s. And as a member of the Tau Kappa Epsilon fraternity, my parents moved to Kearney, Nebraska in my freshman year, and the fraternity house became like family to me, and my fraternity brothers were always there for me. Parents' weekend usually included Brillo and I. Brillo was from the East Coast, and the Delabar family. We always adopted the Delabar family. I don't think it's so much we adopted them as much, but Mr. Delabar always footed the bill to take us out to eat that evening. We always enjoyed that. Bob Dylan was right about one thing tonight. I did change majors a lot. I think I started out pre-med, and I think I had that D in general biology. That was probably my first indication that I wasn't going to make it pre-med. But Culver-Stockton offered you a chance to take a variety of courses. Now, my freshman year, I did act in a play on stage, in the theater with my sister Carol. Allowed me to do that, and I, probably for 3 or 4 weeks, I was thinking maybe I'd be a speech major. Then took Christian Heritage. I don't think I ever wanted to be a minister, but I took that religion like we all did. Took a business class. Criminal justice majors were big at that time at Culver-Stockton College. And you just had the opportunity to try a lot of things. Elementary education was what I settled on, and I never looked back and never regretted it. I really enjoyed the opportunity to work in the field of education, and especially at that grade level. It was interesting, a few years later, when my middle daughter, Emily, became a student at Culver. She had no idea what she was going to major in either. The opportunity to come, play a little softball, sing in the choir with Mr. McSpadden, try different things, and she did try a few courses and not sure what she majored in. Ends up going to art education. I'd never taken an art class in high school before. Took a ceramics class and came on to, I really like this arts. I think I'm going to major in that, and that's what her chosen field was. And I think that's just another indication how Culver-Stockton allows you, the individual, to grow, rather than you becoming just a number where you have to fit into a certain way. I graduated from Culver in '77, taught 5th grade in Hannibal. Great experience from Hannibal, accepting my first elementary principal position in Lewis County C1 schools, which was a learning experience from day one. About 1986, it was time that Martha and I kind of felt like it was maybe time to move on, and had an interview in Fulton, Missouri. Came back from that interview and went pretty well. So I made a call to the only person I knew from Fulton, Missouri. That would be Ken Greger. And I think the conversation went something like this: "Greger, what are you up to?" "Not much, Bubbles. What are you doing?" And I said, just got back from an interview in Fulton, Missouri, and I said, "I think I might get the job if I'm off." And he goes, "God damn, Bubbles, did you get fired?" And I said, No. I said, Martha's ready to get in a little larger community. It's got a Walmart and a McDonald's." And I said, "Well, what kind of requirements are you looking for?" And he goes, "Okay, I'll call my buddy in Fulton. You're in." Hey, I wasn't really looking for that, but, you know, 25, 26 years later, that buddy and I have become very, very good friends, and, I know Kenny still will say he got me the job, but I think I already had it before he called, but that was not.
Also told you not to embarrass me.
Yeah, I think he said, don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass me. I'm extremely proud of my 3 daughters. They've all become educators and are making a difference every day with the students they work with. Teaching, education, it's a tough profession. You know, and that really probably wasn't what I would have chosen for my daughters, but I'm very proud that they decided to follow their mother and I in education. But it's a tough profession. And sadly, and those of us, the older ones that have been in education here for a few years, I just see it get tougher and tougher with the standards and assessment and accountability. It's going to get tough. But I am very proud of my daughters and what they've accomplished thus far, and look forward to long careers and happy careers. What have I always tried to do? I want everyone that I meet to become a part of me. I hope I leave my own personal stamp on each one of you that had the chance to meet me or interact with me. I'm so proud of the different people that I've here tonight. I guess they came out here, Bob Gillum, but I kind of think they came out here, Bob Hogan too, from the Teak House, and we did have a lot of good times. I want to recognize another guy too, because he wasn't a Teak, and he took a little abuse from Bob Gillum. That'd be Ed Schoenfeld. And Ed and I, we weren't friends in college or anything, but just as fate has it, they put us together as back in Hannibal, Missouri, about the first year Ed was out and my second year out, and we coached 8th and 9th grade football together and became lifelong friends. Had some of the same dreams, ambitions. Back when we started off, back in '77, we used to kind of kid each other, hey, we're heading to the top, the very top. And Ed's been a good friend. He probably should have taken his teeth bid, not gone hawk, but you know, we can't hold that against him. Again, pleasure to be here. Pleasure to have this honor, and you know, I don't know if I'm deserving of it or not, but thank you.